in shock. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Shacey Bender. My name is Willy Wonka, aka Cheyenne, and I'm Hugh Grant Oompa Loompa, aka Sierra. So you better quiet up and listen down. Scratch that. Reverse it. Because we're going to go on a journey through the chocolate river of events that led us to making this video. You can see we're putting a lot of effort into this. Yeah. I'm not wearing this the whole video. It's literally a popcorn bucket from the theater. So let's go back in time to our childhood where we were first introduced to the Wonkaverse. So to specify, we've never read the book. Honestly, I know nothing about that. And I'm kind of glad I didn't. I mean, I don't know what the book would be like, considering it had so many censorship issues. Like, the stuff that was in it was so messed up that it had to be rewritten. Yeah, like, I don't even really know anything about that, but cinematically, it's been a part of my life. Both the Gene Wilder and Johnny Depp films were, I would say, a significant part of my childhood as well as yours. Yeah, especially the Johnny Depp one, because although I liked the original, I was afraid of Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka. I mean, the Gene Wilder one is just a classic. I feel like everybody has seen it at some point in their lives, and our mom was a big fan of it. She liked it a lot when she was a kid, so that's how we were exposed to it. And the Johnny Depp one is kind of just a result of the 2000s, you know what I mean? If you were alive in the 2000s, you've seen the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka movie. And you became a different person. We watched it on DVD so often when it came out, like possibly monthly or more. It could have been weekly at a certain point. We were just obsessed with Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka. I mean, what else can I say? For some reason, Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka was my comfort character as a child. Which is funny considering, you know, the terrible accidents. But like, what else can I say besides admitting that he was honestly, at the end of the day, pretty relatable, especially to a child who was socially awkward and had anxiety. And honestly, he's still relatable now. We watched the movie not that long ago, and he seems like he has like kind of a lot of phobias, or just like, ew. As embarrassing as it is, I have to admit that I probably did have a crush on Johnny Depp Willy Wonka when I was a child. Yeah, it's just like one of those people where it's like, again, if you grew up in the 2000s, you had a crush on them. Johnny Depp Willy Wonka, Jim Carrey Grinch, you know what I mean? Why am I blushing? That's disgusting. I am in a state of shock. Anyway, there's something always scary and uncomfortable about those movies that was not as whimsical as they tried to make it seem, which is why I think a current day addition to this story seemed quite intriguing, especially because the Wonka movie is supposed to be a prequel to the Gene Wilder one. But I think the most intriguing thing about this whole thing was the fact that Timothy Chalamet would be playing Willy Wonka. Literally Laurie from Little Women playing Willy Wonka? I don't know, I just thought that the idea of him being in a PG movie was hilarious, to be honest. I mean, obviously Little Women is PG too, but that's a serious film. He's just a very, like, dramatic actor, you know? He's a very serious actor. And so, to hear that he was playing Willy Wonka was very surprising, but it wasn't a thing where I was like, oh, it's gonna be bad. I was excited about it. We need to discuss both our initial thoughts and reactions to the trailers, as well as the public's. And also, we're gonna talk a lot about just the whole movie experience of Wonka, as well as giving a review. So if you don't want to hear about this stuff, you can just skip to the review. We'll do chapters. Yeah. So if you want to look at the timestamps in the description, or just, you know, scrub through the chapters on YouTube, then just go there. Because we have a lot that we want to say about the Wonkaverse in general, and cinema in general, in regards to this film. So if you're not interested in that, just skip. I remember when they first announced that Timothy would be playing Willy Wonka, and I think it was around 2 years ago, and people were pissed, I feel like. Or people were just, you know, complaining in general about there being another film, or saying that it was gonna be bad because he was Willy Wonka, which is honestly depressing. The movie did not even exist. But it's also crazy to think about that this was still going on 2 years ago. Yeah, but it's just the fact that, like, people were complaining about something that, like, did not even exist yet. Honestly, it stressed me out at the time. But then it seemed like things got even crazier when the first trailers got dropped back in July. The internet went absolutely insane, making videos mocking Timothée Chalamet's acting and saying that the movie was just another unnecessary remake of a beloved classic. There is only one thing that I have to say about that whole entire situation. I hate the internet. And especially after seeing the film, I think we can both definitely say, first of all, the internet was wrong and way too judgmental over Timothée Chalamet. And second of all, the trailer was so bad for people on social media to see. And it's not that I think the trailer was bad, but I think because of the way internet culture is, it was bound to get made fun of because of the things that were put in it. There was lots of parts where it seemed like he was acting really weird, but people see that as cringe. Yeah, even though the whole thing with Willy Wonka is that he's kind of an eccentric personality. He's supposed to be strange. Because of that, certain things in the trailer circulated and that made things worse, especially with these scenes being out there with no context at all. So people on the internet took those bits and ran with it. Especially that ending of the first trailer, the Oompa Loompa part at the end. It was just something else, genuinely. The way it cuts off made it seem like it was going to be so cringy, which is so not true. If you see the movie, everything flows right, and I actually really enjoy the Oompa Loompa parts. I will admit that I even clowned on the movie a bit, but it wasn't because I thought that Timothée was going to do a bad job. We're both familiar with Timothée Chalamet, so we thought that this role was obviously, like we said, a bit silly for him, and above all else, it's Willy Wonka, so I just knew that regardless of what the movie was going to be like, that it was just gonna be a wild ride, especially seeing him do it. Yeah, I just think it was funny to see him do those things, not that the acting was bad in any way. And we'd like to note this, a few days before going to go actually see the film for the first time, we rewatched the trailers without any of the opinions of the internet blasting in our ears. And let me tell you, it was a completely different experience, because for a while I was honestly making sure to not see anything about Wonka on the internet before seeing it, because I didn't want anyone's very negative opinions of it to affect my enjoyment of the film. I definitely agree with that, because in my world it felt like everything died down about the movie, when that was not true. I just steered clear from pretty much everything discussing the movie. So when we rewatched the trailers without those judgments, and we haven't seen anybody making fun of any scenes for a while, while we were watching it, all of a sudden we both looked at each other and we just knew we were thinking the same thing, like, this is actually going to be a good movie, isn't it? I remember how shocked we were. We were like, this is gonna be good, isn't it? Oh no. And not oh no in a bad way, just like because of the whole culture surrounding it at the time. Okay, the preparation to see this film. After rewatching the trailers, we were honestly so excited to see this movie. And with all this Wonka energy in the air, we decided to do absolutely everything that we could to prepare ourselves to see this film. Yeah, there was so much Wonka Vader energy, as we were saying, and even our mom said, get the F in, get in the Wonka Vader. We watched the Johnny Depp movie, and it slapped. We couldn't watch the Gene Wilder one because we're pretty sure we only have it on VHS, and we don't know where it is. So we just went on a binge of just watching a bunch of clips from the movie. Everything that Fandango movie clips posted from the film. We even went to IHOP and got the Wonka menu. Honestly, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Purple pancakes and Wonka burger, like, I don't know. And I had this, like, really good and sweet dreamy lemonade with cotton candy in it. Maybe that is what I need at 7 a.m. We even got the crumble Wonka cookies. They were so good. Yeah, thanks to our aunt. Yeah. Who was out and about. They were, like, I wish that there were more. You know, and we definitely didn't pretend that all the food that we had digested, you know, every time we were eating it, we definitely didn't pretend that he made all the food for us in our minds. The hype for this movie was so real in our household, and now it was finally time to actually see the movie. The day finally came. We woke up so early. We were going to the earliest showtime that we could, and we had to go pretty far away because we had to go to a Cinemark theater for this, so I was up at like 5 a.m. for this film. Yeah, and there's like no Cinemark theaters near us at all. They're all AMC. I was nervous as hell. Every time I thought about the movie being like, oh my god, the day's finally here. Like, even the day before I was like, Wonka's tomorrow. And every time I would think about this film, my stomach would drop. I mean, I was even freaking out on the car ride there. I don't know, I was just so excited. My adrenaline was at an all-time high, and it should not have been. Like, what am I doing? Like, oh, I'm so dangerous, I'm gonna go see Wonka! What do you mean you're so dangerous? Like, what are you doing? Like, that's me doing something out of my comfort zone. Risky. Yeah, going to go see Wonka, you know. Just like how I act like me just going to a hotel is, like, so crazy. So crazy, so risky. Going to an airport. We arrived at the theater, met Willy, got our Wonka hat, popcorn buckets. We didn't even eat out of it because we just wanted to put it on our heads and wear it like a hat, and went on our way to take our seats. The movie wasn't what we expected, and we walked out of that theater as different people. We were now Willy, and the movie was a pleasant surprise. And here we are, it is now officially time for our review of the movie. Also, I just want to note that there will be major spoilers ahead because we also just want to have a discussion about this film. We're probably never going to talk about Wonka ever again on this channel. Not because we don't like it, but it's because, you know, it's a lot to make a video about something like this, and I want to just get out all of my opinions now if we're already going to be talking about it. The most important thing that I need to get across personally with this video is that people piss me off. I hate the internet. I will never be using social media ever again. And Timothée Chalamet was absolutely amazing in this role. Yeah, I will never use social media ever again, even though this video is being posted on social media. YouTube is honestly different. I don't care what people say. It's like not even a social media to me. It's like television. Something else for my TV to get addicted to. Overall, the movie was just very refreshing, and it was nice to see a Willy Wonka movie that had nothing to do with awful kids being permanently altered from getting into disturbing accidents at the factory. And especially with Gene Wilder's version, I am convinced that he would just straight up kill children. No, stop, don't get sucked up in a chocolate tube. His movie is definitely like, it's so funny. But yeah, like a lot of people were saying, it's just a remake. Why do we keep making remakes? Well, first of all, this is not a remake, it's a prequel. And second of all, this honestly, even though I didn't think so before, was absolutely necessary, in my personal opinion. We needed to see a different side of his character before all the craziness. Especially because, again, even just based on what I just said, although I love Gene Wilder's version of Willy Wonka and it's really funny and it definitely has a lot of personality there, it's just like, still even now, like, I can't even imagine Timothée Chalamet's Willy Wonka ending up that way. It's kind of hard for me to picture, especially because he's nice to children in this film. Not that he wasn't in the other one, but like, I mean, it's kids getting in disturbing accidents. And not that this film didn't have its sinister moments, because everything in the Wonkaverse is going to have a sinister moment. It will, because it's whimsical, but it's also kind of creepy. It is what it is. You know, death by drowning in chocolate. Willy getting struck on the head by a police officer. The one guy from the chocolate cartel literally having him at gunpoint. But But overall, this movie was very fun, whimsical. A lot of people were describing it as it felt like a big warm hug, and I feel the same. It was just such a comfort movie. I would love to watch it again, and as soon as we left that theater, we were like, I want to watch it again already. Yeah, so now the only thing we can do is just listen to the soundtrack. Because if you didn't know by this point, this movie is a musical. So after we talk about some of the things that we like about the film, we're gonna be discussing the soundtrack because that's just a big part of it. We love musicals. Also, like, why not discuss the soundtrack, considering it's a pretty big part of the movie? So obviously we just talked about more of our general opinions of the film, but now we want to talk a little bit more into the specifics of things that we liked about the film. First off, the pacing was great. It got right into the story. I was a little worried about that, but then I was pleasantly surprised when the movie immediately started by going into a song explaining everything that was going on and immediately got right into the story. One of my favorite parts about this movie is its tone. It was perfect, and everything just felt right the whole movie, especially because this movie has a lot to live up to, and I definitely think that it has its own special tone that the other Wonka related movies just don't have. It's its own thing. Beyond that, as far as just the tone of the movie itself, every movie we've seen recently has had a jarring tonal shift that left us feeling like we were watching a completely different movie by the second half of it. Not to throw shade, but Barbie. The whole second part of the movie was about Ken, really, not Barbie anymore. And then it's jarring then after that to go back to Barbie, and then we don't really see any of her personal growth of her coming to the realization that she wants to become human, and then she just flat out says to Ruth Handler, I want to be human. Like, it was a bit jarring. Yeah. And I love Barbie, of course I do. I'm a doll collector, and that movie coming out meant a lot to me. But, you know, it's very entertaining, but like, the story wasn't perfect the full way through tonally, whereas I feel like this was a little bit better with that. Yeah, this movie just never lost itself. Barbie was just trying to tackle too many messages. Yeah. I think this movie has such a wonderful aesthetic. It's like the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka meets Harry Potter. It's kind of like Honeydukes, you know what I mean? And it's not even just down to aesthetics, just the honestly overall vibe of the movie as a whole. It's just like how with this one, instead of, oh, you can eat my chocolate but don't double cross me type of thing, just the whole vibe of it is very similar to the Weasley shop. What is it called? Is it like Weasley's, Wheezes, and I don't know what it was. Yeah, but I can't remember. It's very similar to that in the sense that even though the candies and chocolate might have bad effects, you're not questioning the morals of the person behind it. Well, the people in there did, because the whole entire thing got poisoned. But as a viewer, you know, you're not really questioning it. And overall, this movie had a very Paddington and Harry Potter vibe, which is to be expected because both people who worked on Paddington and Harry Potter were working on this movie. Especially with the dark undertones, that's very Paddington. Like, were they literally just trying to kill the bear for no reason? I don't know. I haven't seen those movies in a long time. I don't really care for them that much, but just saying. There is one negative I have to say about this movie is that not all of the jokes hit with us, but this also turns into a positive thing because even though not all of them sat well with us, the ones that we thought were funny stuck with us ever since seeing the film. AKA, I don't even know what this scene was, but it was so funny just never thought I'd hear Timothée Chalamet say this in my life. It's hard to describe because it's not like I can watch the movie again to give it word for word, but basically he's talking about getting a woman to like you. He literally was like, show him some thigh. It was an interesting scene. And also another thing that was funny is in the song Sweet Tooth, they're literally singing, do you have the hots for chalks? And the reply is, I do really. We get it. You love chocolate more than your wife. I don't even really see this as a complaint, not all the jokes hitting with us, because let's be honest, I think the internet has ruined everyone's humor a little bit. So we find things that aren't even funny. So I think I'm the problem, not the film. Well, I think differently because, in my opinion, some of the jokes just really didn't hit. But the thing is, I don't think it really takes away from the movie because it's not supposed to be a funny movie. So actually, it's not that big of a deal. I would give it leeway with that, honestly, because it's not like they had a ton of jokes anyway. Again, that's not what they were going for. So honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Timmy's Willy had a major character arc. Again, it was nice to see this younger version of Willy that's not so like paranoid about everything. I feel like he's such a mysterious and almost kind of out of touch figure in the previous films compared to the Gene Wilder one where he's just like, you know, oh no, stop, like he doesn't really care. And then he was also like showing some paranoia about people trying to like steal his chocolate recipes and stuff like that. Like the spies, yeah, Slugworth. So it was like nice to see him and actually like see him in his personal growth and trying to achieve his dreams. It was also nice to see him have a more positive relationship with children and not a thing like, I'm just gonna let you turn into a tiny version of yourself by putting you through my Wonka television. Like, you're gonna get stretched in the taffy puller. Honestly, who cares because you were an annoying child anyway. This was shown really well, you know, obviously with his relationship with Noodle. I thought their friendship was so cute. I really liked them in this movie. Are the other Willies bad people? I don't know. I just feel like this Willy, even if the child was so annoying and horrible, like how, you know, the kids are in Willy Wonka, he would never let those things happen to a child. Yeah. So I don't know. He was also just overall really playful and not in a cringy way, like how people were saying. And I saw this video. I saw this video right the day before I saw this movie, and they were saying Kylie got the ick. She did not get the ick. And we're looking at our notes, and apparently you have something to elaborate on that I put in here because of a statement that you made. Cheyenne says that Lori from Little Women has some competition. Please elaborate. I have no comment. You're not gonna elaborate at all, like... I mean, honestly, they were both, like, pretty good roles for him, but that's not what I meant. Why am I just being embarrassed this entire video? Like, everything's been made out to come for me. I honestly feel like you have nothing to be embarrassed about. Don't be embarrassed about it. Like, he has a good personality. If you like Willy Wonka, then just say it. Not again, though. Let's move on to a phobia I have. We were afraid of the circus vibes that could have possibly been in this movie because of the trailers, with everything with the giraffe. But thankfully that was not present. I have a phobia. I have a fear of animals, and especially everything relating to the circus makes me want to vomit, and it makes me think of P.T. Barnum, one of the most disgusting people to ever live, and I just hate the circus. So I didn't want to see any weird things with animals, and I didn't. The movie was fine. I mean, the giraffe scenes were still kind of scary, but, you know, whatever. You get over it. I feel the need to clarify this, but the giraffe scenes were not actually scary. We just obviously have problems. Personal problems that we need to work out. And also, I can't believe people were saying to leave and go to the bathroom during the giraffe milking scene, because first of all, it wasn't even graphic. Like, you didn't see anything. Like, you're good. Like, if you're worried about that and you haven't seen the movie yet, literally you have nothing to worry about. But literally there's a musical number during that scene that explains Noodle's like whole entire backstory. So honestly, you can't leave during that. Yeah, because then if you come back and then you miss that whole part, you're gonna be like, wait, what? At the later part of the movie when she meets her mom? So, despite, like, the popular choice that people have been making or telling people to make, I wouldn't. Don't leave the theater during that part. And then you might miss a part of a really good musical number. Yeah. So, don't do that. Like, I don't know what scene would be good, honestly, to leave during that film. And of course, like we were just saying, this movie is a musical and has tons of musical numbers in it. And so now it's time to talk about the soundtrack, which was absolutely phenomenal. And in my personal opinion, this was the best movie musical I have seen in years. We think we have all the songs in order. I mean, we could be like off a little bit with a few songs, but generally we're going to go through all the songs that are like musical numbers, not just the random soundtrack songs that are just instrumental. We're gonna go through every song of the film in chronological order of the way it happened in the movie. So, first song, Hat Full of Dreams. Good for an opening song. Cheyenne and I have a very specific opinion on this one particular woman who was featured in the song for 2 seconds. I can't stand her. I know she needed a place to stay the night with her child, but like her voice, and I'm not even saying anything about like the actual actress because honestly, you were giving what you needed to. But also, it's so stereotypical British person that it makes me mad. Like, I've heard you 20,000 times before in my life, even though I've never seen you before seeing this movie. I could even do an impression. Could you spare a sovereign for a place to stay the night, love? A sovereign. A sovereign. But anyway, this song sets up the movie really well. I feel like we get a feel for what is about to happen and what kind of movie this is gonna be. You know, Willy's dreams. Honestly, when I was in the theater, I almost wanted to laugh because the amount of times he says, my chocolate, in this song, I was like, this is what we're getting into right now. It's just gonna be chocolate, chocolate, chocolate for the next 2 hours. The second song, You've Never Had Chocolate Like This, you have the Hover Chalk version, and I guess it's technically the reprise, but they're kind of 2 separate songs. It's not a reprise, I would say part 1 and part 2, because it's the same song, but it's like split up by 2 different scenes. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? A continuation. And also, the second time it happens feels more like an actual song because the Hover Chalk version is very short, and it ends abruptly because he's at the end of his whole thing where he's kind of like trying to give his sales pitch and he's like, never had chocolate like this. So like when we're talking about this, we're talking about both part 1 and part 2 together because they're like the same thing. I'm pretty sure I heard Timothy calling it part 1 and part 2, so that's what I'm just gonna call it because I honestly didn't know what to call it. Yeah. This fits the tone of the movie so well. It's so fun, it's whimsical, it's so Wonka. Yeah, like the film. Like, not the Wonkaverse. Yeah. It's fitting to what this movie is. They're so good at matching their own aesthetic. I know, and also, one compliment I have for the soundtrack is that I love how it feels like every song is made so well to fit together as a soundtrack that it could just flow endlessly into the next song. And for all the people complaining about Timothy, I'm going to defend him so hard with this because I swear it just makes me so angry the way that people were talking about him with this movie. People were acting like his acting was emotionless, like he was just reading the script and not acting. Let me tell you, this song is evidence he was acting for his life. I'm genuinely serious. He was so expressive in this song. It really shows off his acting skills, and I think that's what really makes this song so good because it's so expressive. Yeah, he wasn't afraid to get a little silly, especially that one part about the hair repair eclair, and he's saying, you know, if you eat more than 3, you end up like a gorilla. Yeah. But yeah, he got into it, and then also, again, the part that everyone was saying that Kylie got the ick from the little hoverfly. I love that part so much. So you know what? Y'all can say Kylie Jenner got the ick. Well, you know what? I didn't. So I loved it, actually. And actually, that was what made me excited for this movie. The day before, again, I saw that video, and I was like, oh, he's getting into it. And I was like, these songs are gonna be so good. The play on words in this song is great. Everything rhymes with chocolate. It's so good. Every day. Every freaking day. When am I not like, well, there's chocolate and there's chocolate. Only Wonka's makes your confidence skyrocket. It's so good! Like, stop. This is actually my favorite song of the whole entire movie. I am so passionate about this. It's just so fun! Like, the chocolate makes everything feel like a Broadway show. Like, come on! Like, come on! This is so fun! You do and say all day will be choreographed. It has, like, this Bohemian Rhapsody effect on me. Where, like, this song, it's, like, the same, but it's, like, constantly getting faster or changing. And I love it. Because it fits each scene that it's in, and it's just
perfect.
I mean, I would say it's not as drastic as that. Like, it flows into the next thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a completely new music genre, more like just a different vibe. I have some opinions about this next song. Scrub Scrub? I can't make anything out of that. How about Don't? I really like the instrumental to this song, actually. Dun, 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 dun. It's very Scrubbits of them. Why is that so iconic? Like, every day I'm just like, Scrubbits. But yeah, I prefer the instrumental to this song in comparison to the song as a whole with the singing on it. It just, I don't know, in my personal opinion, it just wasn't hitting as much as the other songs do. It feels like a song that you would just watch during the movie and not just by itself afterward. And it's not my favorite. I think most of all, what is bringing it down for me is because I'm just not a fan of every single one of the workers. Like, maybe 2 of you were iconic, and the rest of you were either forgettable or you made me feel nothing. Nothing pisses me off more than a character or, like, anything in a movie that makes me feel absolutely nothing. If you were going to be annoying, at least be so annoying. Make me feel something, but I'm even more annoyed that you made me feel nothing.
And I don't even think that it's a fault of the movie or
No.
anything. It's just, like, I just don't like these kinds of characters.
Sorry.
Oh well. Like, the song was good. It's just, like, it's just a song about working.
Yeah.
So, like, you know.
You put it in the barrel. Like, that's the thing. It actually is a bop. The characters ruin it for me. I don't want to listen to it after I see the film.
I'm like, oh, it's so good when I watch the movie, but, you know.
This next song is definitely in my top 3 of the entire film. I listen to it all the time, and I think about it all the time.
Sweet Tooth. Absolute certified banger. I just feel like the instrumental and even the singing style is so reminiscent of 1971 Gene Wilder Willy Wonka.
And when the Chocolate Cartel's voices blend together, especially like for the chorus, do you have a sweet tooth? It's so, I don't know. It's like, it's so good. And also, I was so annoyed that I liked this song, actually, because I was like, don't like the song by the Chocolate Cartel. Ew! But it was actually really good.
No, because the instrumental is so creepy and malicious and tense, and it's so whimsical at the same time, and that perfectly encapsulates the way that I feel about the OG Willy Wonka movie.
I know, especially because, like, in the chorus, like, the like, it's so almost like childlike wonder, and then you have the parts in between where it's so tense.
With
and
the
then
horns.
Yeah, and they're like, let's give it a big sell. And then all of a sudden it's a barber quartet. I don't know, something about the song is so entrancing to me. I really like to listen to just the blend of their voices. And also Slugworth, Slade.
The chief of police got manipulated, and I think I might too. Like, that song is entrancing. I might have gotten manipulated to get rid of Willy Wonka.
700 boxes, that's a lot of chocolate.
Next, For a Moment. I love this song. I actually think it might be my favorite in the movie. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I can't even pick my favorite because all of them are so good. It's hit after hit after hit. I love the play on words. Every single thing in this song that's sung by Willy rhymes with noodle.
His vocals. And hers too. But I was particularly impressed with his because especially the most addictive part. Noodle dee dum. We're having oodles and oodles of fun.
Yeah, that part is my favorite part.
And he gets light and airy at the fun, and it's
his singing style. Like, why do you have to be that good? The song goes with the scene so well. It's just all so cute and sweet, and it's just amazing. I love it.
And also, it just gives you more reason to feel for Noodle. Like, the fact that, you know, she's already been through so much in her life, and she's being forced to work at Scrubbits. And then she's like, you know, for a moment, it just doesn't feel so bad, but also don't get caught up in it. You know, he turns night into day, but don't get carried away. Don't let them in. This is like the first good moment of her entire life.
I honestly walked out of that movie being like, I love Noodle. Such a good new character.
Yeah, and like I said, Timmy's vocals, buttery. But for this song specifically, especially because there are even more buttery vocals to come, this one was a more light and smooth butter. Oompa Loompa. Damn. I don't think that there's any way to hate this unless you hate the original Oompa Loompa song as well. Because honestly, this is just the original with elevated and updated instrumental. Because I love the original.
No matter how long it's been since
Yeah.
you've watched the original,
Yeah,
like, you'll always immediately know that song.
Yeah, and I know all the lyrics to each version. What do you get when you guzzle down sweets? It's
as much as an elephant eats. Like, it's honestly, like, iconic. Like,
I still like the original more, obviously. I just like it to be a collective thing. There's different types of voices as well. Like, those original Oompa Loompas, those actors slayed. They really made it what it was, and I love their voices. Yeah, I like the original more, but they definitely updated the instrumental to be more interesting.
Yeah, I think what I love so much about the instrumental of this one is that accordion. Like, there's something about that. It's just, they, like, really did update it, and it fit the aesthetic, it fit the vibe, it fit everything it needed to. And I had it stuck in my head, like, as soon as I left the theater. I mean, probably because they had the reprise version
at
for
the end.
Credits.
I've got another bonus for you. Overall message, iconic. That's the overall message I just need to get out there, was that it was iconic. And also, it's cool because they did storytelling with this one.
Yeah, like, it wasn't just, like, describing the current situation. He was literally describing how Willy Wonka ruined his life.
And also, it's just funny to hear them talk about Loompa Land being like, it's luscious and green. I don't know. Wait, stop.
What, you want to visit Loompa Land?
Mm-hmm. They have, like, choreography all day long.
No, I'll just learn the choreography and, like, do it along with them.
Guys, my favorite song of the entire movie, A World of Your Own. A bop. I'm aggressive about this. With the most buttery vocals I have heard in a long time. Extra butter, though. Extra. I really love the lyrics of this one, especially. Tell me you don't feel like you've been transported when you have your headphones on. He's, singing in your ear, being like, close your eyes and count to 10. Make a wish now, open them.
I feel like I'm there. It's actually, you know what? Why am I not there right now? Like, I'm pissed. I think we need a Wonka theme park. Just like how they have the Harry Potter stuff. When I was at Universal, I felt delusional. I felt like I was there, and I was the happiest I'd ever been in my whole entire life. That was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. And I've been thinking about it ever since, and I want to go back there. And I need this for Wonka.
I know, because what we really need is the boat from the Johnny Depp version, and then na 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 na, like, and I mean, it's like Disney already made like a hyper realistic animatronic of Johnny Depp, so I'm sure a different park could do it again. You know what I mean? We need 3 different parks, 3 different sections
for each Willy.
But let me tell you, I will be spending most of the time at the Gene Wilder one. I love that factory. That damn factory.
The Johnny Depp one, honestly, he has a scary factory.
Yeah, because the thing is, the Gene Wilder one is like so fun looking.
I just want to meet Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka, you know what I mean?
Anyway, A World of Your Own. This song just takes me away. It sounds so magical with the piano during the chorus and like later on in the song, but there's also flutes at the beginning, which just add to the whimsicalness of it, especially for that opening. And just the instrumental, it slaps, like, as a whole. The
That's such a good part.
I want to be taken away. Please help me.
I want to go to there.
Willy. He's in the cotton candy cloud.
No, like, because I'm genuinely, like, stressed in life right now. Having panic attacks. You know what I need? I need to be taken away. And I need to jump around on cotton candy clouds and go on a chocolate river. Go flying across a city being held up by balloons.
And honestly, first of all, the cherries, so big and satisfying.
Sorry. Like, they were juicy.
Oh my god, I love when they stomp those things in the thing in the original, in that room with the grass and the chocolate river, but that's besides the point. With the store, literally, with this song, it's so satisfying to me, him just listing off all the chocolate and candy assortments they have. They'll be like, chocolate bushes, chocolate trees, chocolate flowers, and chocolate bees. And then the other part, humbugs, gumdrops, and stop. Fireworks make sugar string to chew. All the colors of the rainbow and some others 2.
What was he doing right there at that moment?
Yeah, when we saw that part, we were like, what are we watching?
He had a little, like, quirky moment. Like,
Some others, 2.
Loved it.
Hello, editing Cheyenne popping in. We realized we made a mistake. We did not talk about all the songs. We missed Sorry Noodle. But honestly, we just don't really feel the need to talk about that one because it was obviously insignificant enough for us to forget that it was in the movie. Not to diss the song, it's fine, but it's one of those songs where it just is more fitting for the movie. It doesn't feel like a full song. So yeah, that's why we didn't talk about it, and plus we forgot.
And finally, we are at the last song of the film, Pure Imagination. This song is already a classic, obviously, because of Gene Wilder's version. Sometimes I wonder, like, what if there was a Johnny Depp version? What if that did exist? And I know it doesn't fit that film at all, but I kind of just wish, like, instead of him being sad the whole entire film,
we got a glimpse into
like, we got a glimpse into Johnny Depp Willy Wonka's, like, creativity.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem, like, creative. Like, in the sense that
He's just so sad. Like,
he's not creative in the same way that Gene Wilder's is. Like, you know, it's not, like, whimsical. He's just kind of like, I'm kind of crazy. Yeah. But yeah, this version of Pure Imagination could never top the original. I don't think it's trying to, and in fact, it definitely differentiates it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be better than the original, especially because Gene Wilder sang the song as they were filming it, and then they just added the music afterwards. So the original feels like very special and in the moment because it was in the moment.
He was walking around and acting like he really got into it as he was singing it. You know what I mean? So there's just something so special about that.
Basically, with this version, they better adapted it to fit with the scenes that were happening in the movie. Just like how there's this one part is like, like, you know, and it has like that sort of sound going on, but because it's moving on from the noodle part with her reuniting with her mother to the factory. They didn't get there yet, you know, and then he gets there and they're like, come with me, and, you know, it starts getting louder and bigger.
The vocals are really good, and it has such an emotional and sentimental feel. Just thinking about it makes me want to cry. Something about the lyrics in general doesn't even matter if it's Timothy's or Gene Wilder's. Like, first of all, that if you want to view paradise,
I was just about to say the
look
same
around
thing.
and view it. And not only that, but I can't remember what the lyric is. Hang on, actually, I have to look this up right now. I'm sorry, I have to go and search. Hang on.
Oh, and the part where he's like, there's nothing to it. Again, you can create a world of your own.
A world
Of your own. A world of your own is such a good addition, and I think it's a very good addition to Pure Imagination. That was like such a good thing for the Wonka film to have.
Found the lyric that I love. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. I'm gonna cry! Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
And also, again, traveling in the world of my creation, like, I'm sorry, but especially, like, I love creativity. I thrive off of creativity. I mean, I'm sure it means something to everyone, that song. But to me, I'm also just like, oh, I want to create something. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I personally relate to it in a certain way.
Where, like, I feel truly alive when I'm, like, creating things and doing things that I like to do and being completely sucked into my own little world.
I know, the song makes me want to go paint or create a flip book or something. I don't know.
Makes me want to sing and walk around my house pretending like I'm in a chocolate factory.
Or pretending I'm a grown adult man with is that even a king? I don't know, like, you know, like twirling it around and, you know, I am Willy Wonka. And plus the instrumental just already gives that, like, emotional feeling. And plus, and especially in Timothy's version, like, you are kind of, like, hearing emotion in it because it was going with the scene, so he was, like, kind of sad but, like, happy at the same time with Noodle, like, reuniting with her mother and everything, and you can hear that in the vocals. I run away with this man, and Sierra will be pissed because I want to go to the factory again. We've had multiple conversations about this. Before this movie even came out, I just, like, as a joke, was talking to Sierra and being like, so would you you go to the factory? Because we watched the Johnny Depp one, and I was like, would you go to the factory? Because I said yes, she got pissed at me, being like, you would leave me behind, like our family behind, to be with Willy.
Well, in the Johnny Depp one, he's like, you have to leave your whole entire family behind. Family sucks. It's like, of course they can't come. Like, you know what
I could trick him, but then like I'm gonna die.
Like, you want to get like thrown into the chocolate river?
I don't know, just he seems like every day would be something different.
Like, I'm not even mad, I just like don't even understand. Because I do kind of agree, like honestly, again, I need to be taken away.
Our last note that we have when we were writing the script for this, I was writing down things that Sierra was saying without her knowledge. And the last thing that I have to add, and I quote, I think he would solve my problems. From yours truly, Sierra.
I honestly do think that. I think if Willy Wonka was real, he would solve all my problems, if I'm being honest.
We're talking about Timothy's, right?
Yeah. I just feel like I need a couple days. I need to be taken away. I need to go fly across the city on balloons and eat a bunch of chocolate. Maybe he can make a chocolate that will fix all of my digestive issues. Like,
that's what I said, like, you know, he could probably come up with something like that. Even beyond that, I need to be around someone that has such a positive, optimistic personality, a playful personality.
I think I just need to go to his shop. I need, like, that stress relief.
Hopefully they're not poisoned.
Yeah, like, if they're not poisoned. I need to just sit in a little boat on a chocolate river and just eat a bunch of candy. I don't even know what I'm saying
I
anymore.
have two things to say. One, that I feel like he would have been smart enough to come up with some sort of antidote candy. I don't know why he didn't do that. So, like, then people didn't ruin his shop. Second, we keep bringing up the chocolate river for some reason. And all I want to say is that, like, let's hope it's not Gene Wilder's one, because the boat ride is disturbing. You know, I love the boat ride, and I would have been like, yes, get chaotic and crazy if they didn't have that one disturbing scene of the chicken. You would know what I mean if you saw it, but, like, that was actually genuinely disturbing. No wonder the people on the boat were getting sick.
Literally. So that was our review, and basically our whole experience with the Wonkaverse in general.
This movie was a treat, no pun intended, but also it works, so pun intended. One of our favorite movies to come out this year, if not our favorite.
Not trying to make it a competition, but like Barbie was the biggest movie of this year. I really did love Barbie when it came out, but dare I say, I might actually like this more. I feel
I
like
don't
so
even want to
conflicted.
say it.
I don't want to say that because Barbie is this like ultra feminist movie. It was something that like I needed, and I think it was what women needed. We need to heal. We need Barbie to solve all of our problems and fix feminism. But I think this movie as a whole kind of makes more sense like altogether.
Yeah,
Like,
because I think overall, I just want to say about Barbie is that it's a very entertaining movie, but a lot of that is just due to the fact that, like, oh, toy humor, and then the actors are very entertaining, obviously. But, you know, at some point, the plot, you know, does get lost, so
I'm still not sure. We'll see what my opinion is.
I don't know, I like the Barbie vibes more.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, do I want to live in a dream house, or do I just want to go to the chocolate shop? And honestly, I kind of want to go to the chocolate shop.
I don't know.
It's a very difficult decision.
I'm not like trying to make it into a competition. I'm just saying because these two movies were the biggest movies this year, other than like Oppenheimer, obviously. And another thing too is I just love musicals. Musicals are my thing.
And strange men, apparently.
Yeah.
We just can't escape it.
Put your comments down below of what you thought of our opinions. Do you agree? What did you think of the movie? Do you completely disagree with us? That's fine too. No judgment. You do not have to agree with us in any way. I want this to be a discussion, not a me versus you argument over a movie.
Because I can even admit it, out of all these three Wonka films, I can confidently say that even though it's a good movie, it's just not the best one. I think I like the other two more as like movies, but this is just a whole experience, a new, refreshing experience. And maybe it's because it's so new at this point point that I don't fully feel like this is my Willy Wonka yet. I know that with time and more watches of this movie, I will grow to like it even more. This is definitely a movie that has so much potential that I can only see me liking it even more from here.
We have a gaming channel. A link to that will be in the description below.
Where's the Wonka video game?
Where are the Wonka dolls? I need a Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka doll immediately.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going.
Oh wait, stop the boat!
We're there. Thanks for joining us on this boat ride through the chocolate river of the Wonkaverse. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you guys for watching and listening to our opinions. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!
I'm making chocolate, of course. How do you like it?
Absolutely insane.
Oh.
Ow! This is not supposed to go on a human head. Ow!
Our shirts?
The
Slay.
Wonka shirts. Like, yes! Yes, 5 below. Ow, this is actually squeezing my head. I have to get it off. Oh!